Welcome back to The Letters. I'm your host, Jeff Grosso, and we're in Paris, City of Lights, and this is our love letter to France. We're checking out Hubbas with the boys. So watch, enjoy, wee wee.
Now that we're old and ugly, we're middle-aged and hurting. Love letters with Jeff Grosso will remind you of the salad days, the best of days.
For this episode, we flew into Paris and we drove down to Lyon and ultimately to Marseille and then back to Paris. 5-6 days in country, a quick jog down to the coast, a little holiday in the sun, if you will, and this is what you get.
For me, right now, skateboarding in France is so sick because it's like so many generations together and it's like fun and we skate together, we are all friends. Right now, it's a really good time for skateboarding in France.
More about being European than being French, I would say. Skateboarding wise, at least.
People coming through and we go to other towns. Everyone knows each other in Europe, kind of, so you kind of identify more to that, I'd say.
There's also something about French skaters and French scene as well, which is kind of different from the, if you compare to Spain or Germany, it's definitely.
Welcome back to The Letters. I'm your host, Jeff Grosso, and we are here at Wall Street in Lyon, France with Jeremy Declone, right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, formerly of Cliché Skateboards and now with Film Trucks. Thanks for sitting down and doing this with us.
No problem, man.
Jeremy in this category of guys who is so in love with skateboarding from the very beginning and up to this day is like still going for it, like skating every day.
I think Jeremy was a big influence in skateboarding, just showing that you can actually make it. Because a lot of people think that companies have to come from the US and you're never gonna do nothing if you don't go to the US. Well, now everybody can imagine that it's possible because of Johnny.
Cliché was the first like real breakout European country. It got crazy popular.
When I started Cliché, the thing is back then skateboarding was really California-oriented skateboarding.
Yeah.
And the thing is everywhere there's asphalt, you can do skateboarding, and skateboarding is worldwide. Just with motivation, you can create your own scene and slowly by slowly growing and do your stuff. And that's why we clicked pretty good with French Fred, because he did some American brand videos, but he wanted to be more back home and everything. So we clicked together and start working together.
It just eventually happened by itself, randomly. Like the spot became free for the video guy. So they asked me, hey, do you want to make videos for us? So I was like, fuck yeah, this is perfect. And then we made like so many videos, like we started with Bon Appetit in 2003, and we made many videos and stuff. So it was really good. And then his whole thing with Cliché was to start a company in Europe and be able to bring up professional skaters that could be in Europe, that wouldn't have to go to California to turn pro, you know.
And but with Cliché, I was really aware of taking people from all type of skateboarding, because for me, skateboarding is not only ledge or training; it's everything. So I had some Lucas Puig, which is a ledge killer, or Javier Mendizabal, which is doing lots of training, and so that was a Cliché. It was about skateboarding. Yeah.
We are in Lyon, France, and this is the famous spot Hôtel de Ville that is now rebuilding. I think at the beginning they wanted to like really fuck all the place up and put some grass or whatever, like chill park, and then they made a petition like to make the city understand that it's a really famous spot around the world and it's part of the patrimony. I guess it worked, and now they want to put less slippery flat ground or stuff. The Instagram, I started it like, I don't know, 1 year ago or something. Tried to push the young kids, like, I guess it's good like that. People want to see the new blood. Yeah, there's so many kids, like sometimes some kids, they just come 2 weeks and that's it. For sure we have respect and stuff for all the JBs and all these guys from this generation, but I wanted to show what's going on today.
Hello, I'm Samuel Partex. I'm a French skateboarder. I just been cruising all around France since a long time, and the skate scene in France is growing a lot, and especially with the DIY community. Just before this trip, I went on a DIY trip in south of France. That was just amazing to see this energy into the DIY spot right now. We went to sleep at some kids, they were like 17 years old, and they were building their own DIY in their garden. And I was like, wow, the future of skateboarding looks good. We passed by some of the new classic DIY of France and to support them as well, because beautiful to see it and to skate it.
Une petite communauté, presque un gang de petits durs à la recherche du meilleur endroit pour exercer leur art. Maître du béton et terreur des passants, toutes les surfaces sont bonnes pour délirer sur 4 roues. Sans protection ni casque qui nuirait au mouvement mais surtout à leur look, ils sont une trentaine de vrais trashers qui écument le bitume, franchissant les obstacles comme autant de vagues imaginaires, n'hésitant pas à slalomer entre les voitures et emprunter les souterrains.
What were some of the French milestones of skateboarding?
So it's all started with Pierre-André Zenizerg.
Yes.
Yeah, he was one of the pro for Sims and everything.
My name is Pierre-André, I'm from Paris, France. and I've been skating for 10 years, freestyle. I've been also street skating.
Pierre-André was like the first professional skateboarder that we had around in all our little crew from the Trocadero. And so everybody was looking up to him, but he was doing freestyle and we were doing street style.
Did he have a name for that trick where he did the ollie? And
Yeah, it was, I think it was the ollie salop flip, something like that. It's called the ollie beach flip. That was, it was just a made-up name, just because he couldn't find a better one, so that's the one he chose.
that was his graphic for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
My name is Benjamin Debert. I've been working in skate media for, I don't know, 20 years I guess, or more now. Shooting photos, writing and doing whatever needs to be done to get first magazines out, and now I work on online, obviously, like everybody else. Soy Pandé, at a really old fountain/sculpture in center of Paris, in Saint-Germain. End of the day, still the same story. You're just in some random alley with your friends and some people you don't really know, and someone's grinding some huge bar for a cell phone somewhere. I mean, for us, because we were coming into Paris every weekend to skate, Stéphane Laurence was the first one, because he was light years ahead of everybody in Paris. But, I mean, we would see him every weekend, so we were like, yeah, okay, he's the best, or he's really good. So Stéphane Laurence, and he's kind of like the original French Tech or whatever you want to call it, which turned into JB Gillette years later, and then Lucas now. It's kind of like that style of like street skating, super tech for the 80s, but super powerful, not just like, but flying.
Introduce yourself and tell us where we are.
Okay, I'm Jean, 53 years old, and we're close in Lyon, close to Aix-en-Provence, and this guy is the owner.
We are in my garden in the south of France. I'm Dominique, and I built this pool in 1979. Bon, alors j'ai continué en français. À l'époque, en France, il n'y avait pas du tout de skatepark, il n'y avait rien. J'étais abonné à un magazine qui s'appelait Skateboarder, dans lequel je voyais pas mal de photos en fait, de poules. Et comme à l'époque, les poules, les photographes les prenaient au fisheye, j'ai pris une photo et j'ai construit ce que je voyais sur la photo, quoi. Donc ça a donné un trou assez profond.
We have to go back to the old days. Monty Older apparently ripped it the hardest. Craig Johnson destroyed it. A local guy called Guillaume Moquin. Dan van der Linden really ripped this really hard. Every year we get a bunch of animals who fall down, can't come up. And the worst one was this huge eagle. When he spread his wings, it was like 6 feet across or something. We had a wild boar piglet who crashed into this. I had to dispose of it. A week ago there was a snake. So there's a lot of stuff, and the animals, when they fall down, they get really aggressive. It's crazy because the rabbits get really aggro, you know, they run around here and you can't even touch them because they will attack you, attacked by a rabbit.
Oui, bien voilà, Jean-Pierre Marquand comme prévu est en place, il est prêt à s'élancer. Je vais lui donner le top départ tout de suite. Attention Jean-Pierre, 70, 80, 90, 100 à l'heure. Hop, aïe 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 aïe. Il y a...
Recule.
Ça va Jean-Pierre?
Ça va.
Ça va?
Ouais.
Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé Jean-Pierre?
Les vibrations.
Les vibrations?
Ouais, terrible.
Rien de cassé?
Non, je pense pas.
Voilà.
Super.
We are right now at Palais de Tokyo, and if you look over here, you have the Eiffel Tower, and there is a very interesting spot underneath it. It's called the Bassin. Unfortunately, it's a spot that is really hard to skate because it's always water in there, and they clean that bassin, this fountain, actually once a year. So it's really hard to tell when it's skatable.
And it was at the time when there was the word going on that the ponds were empty. So we all like went there and skate for like days and nights. We slept on an apartment like 10 minutes away, and then the next morning we were just coming back and skate all day.
It's a historical spot, as much as Le Dôme as well. Le Palais de Tokyo, it's pretty much the original name. And here we are, like this is the spot. I'm gonna show you a little bit like Le Dôme, like from a skate perspective. We're gonna start with the big hubba, 18 stair hubba. After that, you're gonna have like 16 stairs hubba, also with a little kink at the end. That's pretty much what I really love to skate around 2001, 2002. You can see it's not too steep. It's a pretty mellow one, but at the end it goes pretty quick, but the proportions are pretty good, you know? The first 50-50 actually is from Marco Aziza. We are the bottom part, which is I believe the part that has been skated the most. Why? Because these 3 stairs has the perfect length. They redid the whole ground because the ground was all cracked and damaged for many years. This double set has been shredded forever as well. The proportion again is pretty good. I used to be 11 years old when I first skated Le Dôme. And my uncle was living just on the other part. So I just had to cross that bridge over there. It was something really cool for me as a kid to be right next to the famous spots where all the pros of back in the days were hanging out. We can go actually to the other part, which is the bigger double set. It's a legendary spot for sure. That double set has been known forever, and people such as Vincent Bressol, cliché video, he backside ollied it in a line, which was pretty gnarly. Chris Fanner fakey ollied it too. And yeah, that new guy, it switch traded as well. It's just so long, like even now I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, like I went down this double set back in the days, like, damn. Many people came here and appreciated to skate this spot a lot. Popping from marble, landing on marble, it's just the best feeling as well, you know? For a street skater at least, you know?
Something no one really know about it, but in Bourges, France, they had some crazy ramps and they had some skate camps as well. It's crazy, because it was in the middle of nowhere with crazy ramps and crazy riders and
And everybody wanted, I remember I wanted to go because the ramp was so good.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to go to Bourges.
And lots of tricks have been invented over there. Stealthfish, we were talking about it.
Yep,
Stealthfish as well.
Came out of there. We're here with Thomas Wax in Marseille, France. What do we got going here?
Yeah, it's good to have you here. We are at La Friche, La Belle de Mai. You know, it used to be an old manufactory of tobacco back in the days. And as I told you, it's in the ghetto here. So a lot of kids were there and didn't have nothing to do here, basically.
Alors on est à La Friche de La Belle de Mai.
En fait, c'est un grand complexe qui était une ancienne manufacture de tabac. En fait, ça s'est transformé en résidence d'artistes. Et il y a quelques années, on nous a demandé de faire un skatepark et une école de skate.
So a lot of kids just arrive here and start to do a little bit of skateboard, and thanks to that they start to do some artistic stuff with painter, with some video guys.
So you use the skateboarding to give them hope and show them that there's more to life than just fucking off.
How many time do you spend by week here in Marseille, in La Friche?
5 jours sur 7.
Voilà, 5 days on 7. Et toi?
7 jours sur 7.
Voilà, 7 days a week. Voilà. Pourquoi tu skates, mon grand?
Parce que ça fait du bien et tu te fais plaisir avec des copains et tout.
Et toi, pourquoi tu skates alors?
C'est pareil et aussi parce que ça détend, par exemple quand on est énervé, ça détend la personne avec la vitesse et tout.
Et après la friche, il faut savoir que nous a donné les moyens de le faire et elle nous a fait confiance sur la façon de le faire. Et par exemple, le skatepark, il est interdit aux trottinettes, no scooter inside et no BMX inside, just skateboarding.
J'ai découvert la friche par une amie et depuis je suis venue, je me suis rendu compte que c'était aussi comme un lieu culturel, comme un lieu sportif et j'ai appris à faire du skate et j'ai rencontré beaucoup de monde et ça m'a bien aidé. On peut venir tout faire, on peut faire des rencontres, du sport, vraiment un peu tout faire.
So here, you know, it's a skateboard library. This place, you know, is important to us because they show to kids that before internet, before YouTube, before all that, we used to have books. We used to have, you know, letters, obviously. So we can have some books from skateboard, you know, with poetry, but we also can have some stuff about architecture, psychology, psychiatry sometimes, of course.
Right.
So a lot of different stuff, yeah. Ça va, grand? So this place is the dernier cri. This place, you know, allows people to express themselves as they want, you know. As I told you before, their credo is to vomir par les yeux, throw up by eyes, you know. So whatever you want to say, what you want to draw, you can do it, you know. And you got a place for that here, you know. So they do video, they do time lapse, they do painting, they do t-shirts.
Oh, it's so badass. This place rules. It's amazing work you guys are doing. Really,
Thanks.
really cool.
But it's because we are allowed to do that. It's not possible to do that alone. We are a lot of people who work on it, you know, a lot of people.
Yeah, it takes a village.
Yeah, it's a big village.
Jeremy Daclin, obviously. Jeremy would always be like, oh, I have this trick, and it would be crazy missions like this. The Bercy, so that's in the first cliché video. Then JB Gillette from Lyon. And all his crew, like Malik Abdeselem and PIERRE, like the same crew in Lyon, like all the young tech guys. Yeah, Lucas Puig obviously is amazing.
Seb Dorel, like a VAL skater from France.
My name is Jean-Marie. We are in France at M&M's pool, and welcome, guys.
And who are these?
That's Martin, my smallest boy, and Mano, my oldest daughter. Yeah. And we're all skaters.
The ball has been here like since 3 years. It's like a lot of works, like 6 months.
We built it by ourselves, yeah. you have it there, and so it's like you come back from work and it's like a half an hour you carve and make a trick, and then that's all. And sometimes friends coming on a Sunday and you have a big session, and that's it.
That's fucking cool. Because you can skate it every day with your family and friends.
Yeah, it's crazy to be able to share this passion with your kids. Yeah, that's.
Not most half. Yeah.
Oh yeah! Oh shit!
Bastien Salabanzi?
Bastian Salabanzi.
He really became someone very important in skateboarding.
Bastien Salabanzi was like, for my generation, one of the biggest names for sure.
He's originally from the Congo, but he's passing himself off as French at the moment.
Really, really good skateboarder.
You guys had a way radder fucking vision of what went down because you're taking it back home. Dude,
Right.
early board slides?
And I was 12.
Hot flash burns my brain. Tongue lashings drive me insane. From New York City to LA.
This is an ad for jam, like strawberry jam and stuff. And in order to sell more, they printed those pics from an American contest. I think it's Spring Valley, 78.
Spring Valley.
There was a Who's Hot of Alexis Le Pasteur, and he's doing an Andrecht. He's got elbow pads and a helmet and no knee pads. This guy was gorgeous in the 70s. So like, we'll show you like these pullouts, you know, posters, like he's fucking the Beach Boys or something.
It's like the French Leaf Garrett.
Oh, we got another one. There's the motherfucker I'm talking about. Look at that guy. But like here he is doing a fucking frontside air, man. Like he brought the aerial to France. Like think about that. This dude, he's the dude in France, right? This was the French dude they put in skateboarder, man.
Yeah, Marseille was big because it was one of the biggest skate park, more trainee oriented. For sure, it was the big thing in France.
So what's his name? The Marseille guy?
Jean-Pierre Collinet.
Jean-Pierre Collinet. I can't roll my.
You get it.
He did it as like a college project.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Alors le bol de Marseille, en fait, il est né grâce à Jean-Pierre Collinet, qui est l'architecte qui a dessiné le skatepark de Marseille. En fait, il faut savoir que ça a été un projet d'architecture qu'il a fait et qui a donné lieu à ce bol.
On a grandi comme ça, on a grandi ici, on voyait tout le monde veut débarquer, les Anglais, les Américains, les Espagnols, les Allemands. Donc tout le temps, tous les week-ends, on avait du monde avec qui skater, avec Cargel, avec Jack Phelps, avec tous ces gars qui ont passé un mois à dormir sur la pelouse parce que chez eux, c'était une époque où il n'y avait pas beaucoup de skateparks. Et du coup, tous les gars débarquaient et on a skaté avec tous les meilleurs skateurs du monde. Avant 99, ils passaient comme ça, ils débarquaient au bol de Marseille, on pouvait skater avec eux. Après 99, il y a eu le Quicksilver Ball Rider et là, à ce moment-là, ils venaient qu'une fois par an. Ça a marqué un peu le changement.
So yeah, like Americans, I think the first time they came here, they show us the two fucking like carve. They show us how to use it, how to use the line.
avant le ball rider, il y avait déjà plein de pros qui venaient visiter parce que c'était le premier, si je dis pas de bêtises, c'était le premier skatepark en béton en Europe en fait. Et en plus, il était au bord de la plage, gratuit. Après, bien sûr, il y a eu le Ball Rider Contest qui a fait qu'il a pris beaucoup plus d'ampleur. Mais clairement, nous, on a connu, par exemple, moi j'ai connu l'époque où Cardiel, Phil Chaos, Skip Première, Jack Phelps.
Because skateboarding and after we stay all time together.
Il y a beaucoup moins de skateurs qui se motivent, qui se chauffent et du coup il n'y a que nous trois qui...
Ouais, que nous trois on skate tous les jours.
Ouais, qui skatons tous les jours et qui...
Moi je kiffe le ball de Marseille parce que il est unique. Il y a le ball de Marseille, il est unique et c'est ça qui me fait kiffer. Il y a un spa, une raquette et c'est vrai, pour moi c'est le meilleur ball du monde et ça le restera. On est libre et c'est ça, c'est pour ça qu'on a continué en fait. Moi, on a tous fait du foot dans notre jeunesse, ça nous a cassé les couilles les entraînements. Ouais. Du coup on est resté au ball et on a chillé frère.
Voilà. Entraîneur, personne pour être derrière nous pour nous dire ce qu'on doit faire. C'est ça, c'est la liberté, c'est ça qui nous fait kiffer.
Well, and Marseille, you know, along with fucking Monk and Red and stuff, completely changed the concept of skate park design. Like all from just that park being built. You know, all skateboard parks from here till eternity now are built with Marseille in mind. There's Marseille DNA, you know.
Antis is to explain like a simple way. Like Antis is like some guy who I think they didn't have their vision of skating in some actual brand, so they just create this brand to be what they wanted to be.
So I'm Hugo. Just started the Antis company. So where we are here is the second office in Lyon, France. It's almost 15 years we started. Like there is no company plan in the head. That was more like, yeah, it's cool. Every day and every year it was like, yeah, it's cool. But then we learned like, yeah, it's cool, but it's not enough to get a company. So you have to do this. Oh, okay, it's happened every day after day. It's like a brick, and you put the brick, and at the end you're like, oh yeah, there's a window, there's a door, and then you have a house, and you're like, oh yeah, we did it.
I can speak about Antis because I'm in the team, I skate for them. But yeah, I think they try to keep the special spirit of skateboarding and of shredding spot. Antis is more in the shadow, and Jeremy with Cliché just made a lot of things. The both brands try to stimulate the scene. It makes some good vibration in the city.
That's what I learned, and even in the tricks, you know, when you cannot fake nothing, it's just skateboarding is not faking it. So don't fake it. Also in the company, just be true. It's just simple.
We are in Cosa Nostra skate park in the suburbs of Paris. It's an amazing skate park full of history of like French skateboarding, and we're gonna have a look on the French magazine because it's a ton of them here and it's part of our skateboard history.
So basically late 80s would be No Way magazine, which turned into Anyway. And then VANS folded, and then Freestyler was a snowboard magazine. And then over the years they managed to ditch the snowboarding and just focused on what they loved.
For me as a kid, my first ever mag was a mag called Tricks. It's this one, Tricks. So yeah, like Sugar is like part of the French history from Benjamin de Beer.
When Sugar started, we had a publisher that had nothing to do with skating. So which meant that if we sold copies, we could do anything we wanted. Information being key, you're trying to gather information about what's going on in France and spread it. End of the day, you're trying to inspire people to skate. That's the main thing.
Fucking the press or whatever.
The story about Grosso is here.
Okay, so here is the actual report on the Grand Bornand. Who saw it here? When the judges announced the results, Grosso started to insult the NSA. He thought it was unfair that his friend Eric Nash wasn't qualified for the finals.
Yeah.
Second step,
Grosso is what you call a shit steerer. It makes sense that Santa Cruz kicked him out of the team. Then, after that, it was a complete mess. Grosso managed to actually interrupt the contest, so there was no finals anymore, and it turned into a demo.
Come on, bad boys.
You're in the last sentence here. We hope that the Grand Bornand contest will be back next year, and we hope that Jeff Grosso will be sedated. Please. S'il vous plaît, please.
This has been our French love letter. Oui, oui. I hope you enjoyed it. Turn this shit off. Go skateboard. Get out there with your friends. Go ride. Thanks for watching. All I wanted to ever show anybody was how awesome skateboarders and skateboarding is. You know, and the more we all go out and do these things and go from country to country, it's just a reminder, you know, what a universal story we've got going and how we're all connected and in what true passion we all share for this little wooden toy and how it has profoundly affected all of our lives and what just fun and unbridled joy it brings to each and every one of us. So I hope you're enjoying this and getting the same experience that I'm getting, or even an eighth of the education that I'm kind of getting out of doing all of this. Because, fuck man, there's just nothing better than skating. Skateboarding's ruled the fucking earth.